Yo, it's Crow, and this entire situation is just completely fucked. For those of you who don't know, Eric July is a content creator on YouTube. He has started his own competing comic book brand called the RippaVerse, right? And it basically, as far as he's described it, he's gotten so fed up with Marvel and DC that rather than just complaining about it and talking about all the dumb things that they do, he's going to start his own brand and he's going to take their customers, right? He's trying to compete with them from a business standpoint, right? Not just attract on YouTube, but actually trying to build his own company and prove that there is a market, for just regular comics the way they used to be before you got like weird junk injected in, like Robin's now bisexual because representation, right? Shit like that. Um, I mean, yeah, obviously, much more than that. But the Miles verse where we got the probably like one of the most like racist interpretations of Miles Morales' story was fucking great. But anyways, uh, he starts the RippaVerse, and within just days of the announcement, he had already raised $2 million. At this point, he's raised like 3.2 million. But as you can see on screen, PayPal stepped in and froze $1.2 million that was raised through there, roughly about 30% or so of his sales. Now, there is a technical defense for what PayPal did here. And when I say technical, I mean it is some absolute harebrained bullshit. So this is what I see most people trying to refer to this because Eric July said that they held the money, and then after holding the money, they then contacted him wanting documentation. He provides the documentation, and then they throw their pre-sale thing into his face. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know that there have been plenty of pre-sale order campaigns that have been featured through PayPal before from plenty of different content creators. It's never been an issue. Now, sure, his product has far more pre-order sales than a lot of these, and that is true. So I could understand them wanting him to prove that he can, produce the orders, which is actually like something that PayPal says that they will request in certain circumstances. But once he's proven his ability to provide those orders, for PayPal to not hold a portion or a reserve of the money, because that's not what they did, for them to hold all of it, right? Look, I'll be honest, because again, I'm just going by what I can see here. To me, PayPal choosing to hold every single penny from Eric July says to me that their hope is that he is unable to actually provide the product to the consumers, and that way they can actually tank his entire brand, right? I mean, look, I know maybe that's like a bit too conspiratorial here, but I mean, let's be real. It's bullshit what PayPal is doing here. PayPal isn't following this rule where they're just holding a little reserve amount, right? No, they're holding all of the money that he raised through them. They held it because not because of this policy. They held it because we noticed an unusually large increase in the sales because the campaign was popular and blowing up, right? I'm sure it had nothing to do with Eric July having the wrong thing, but they didn't hold a reserve amount. They held $1.2 million, right? Look, if you can you imagine there being like a campaign and a third of the funds raised for that campaign gets stripped away? In just about any circumstance, that would generally prevent the person holding that campaign from actually providing the product or providing it in a timely and effective manner. right? It seems deliberate. It seems 100% deliberate. And and again, why? I don't know. These big tech platforms seem to do this shit. I mean, they seem to make decisions based on ideology and not really based on, you know, good business practice. Not that I think they fucking give a shit on any of that. I mean, just look at this shit. And I thought it was great that Nina quote tweeted it. But PayPal had the statement, last June, we made a commitment to invest in black businesses and underserved communities to close the racial wealth gap and tackle systemic inequality. And then a year later, they look at a dude who's like raised over $1 million on PayPal for his comic books. And PayPal said, no, shut that down, shut it down. Yeah, man, like, it has nothing, like, it seems deliberate. It seems really fucking deliberate. And again, props to Eric July, because he's flat out said, you know, for those that paid PayPal for RippaVerse items, they aren't giving me access to that money. Despite allowing massive corporate entities access to money for pre-orders, weren't awarded such a luxury. Thankful the money I invested already pays for the products, so I don't need to get the items to you. However, just so you know, I can't touch it until the items go out and speak to another group of idiots over there. PayPal has your money. Don't put it in a dispute. They then shift the blame to US. But you may want to tell them you're unhappy with this. And if you're a small business startup, I'd recommend not using PayPal as a pre-order if you needed access to the money and get items for your customers. To those of you that pay directly with your card, there all is good. We have access to those funds without any issue. This only applies to people that use PayPal, an option I only use because it was requested by others, especially international folks. And then he says over here, again, PayPal's host shit will not prevent me from sending you the items if you paid with PayPal. We already invested the money for the product that will be shipped to you for going into September. I will just not actually get paid for it until they decide to stop being hoes. And like, dude, it's really fucked. I feel awful for him. Because, like, again, it's a third of the money. I see, like, the most asshole fucking responses from some people where they're like, oh, it's only 1.2 million. He'll be fine. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, you can just tell that you can smell, like, the petty, bitter bitchiness of a lot of these motherfuckers. A lot of them. Anyways, I really hope that he's able to get the issue sorted out with PayPal. But I really feel like they're going to hold all of the money until he has shipped every single comic book out. And then they will find another reason to withhold the funds from him. Because it has nothing to do with their policy. They don't care about that. It's all about fucking with this guy and trying to shut his sales down.